I'll just go on to the next one. Who can lead a bhajan? I will. There's an interesting anecdote I would like to narrate. Very humorous also. Uh, it it was in Kodaikanal. So that was in Kodai we tend to take a lot of liberties with Swami that we can't take in either in Parthi or Brindavan. So it's like they say that it's like Swami's playground. Brindavan is home, they say, and Parthi is office, they say. Kodai is this playground. He's your playmate. You can actually take a lot of liberties. And sometimes we take it a little too far. That particular Kodai trip, there were only two Mandir singers. So myself and one more boy were there. And sometimes we used to sing up to 12 bhajans per session. So and because it's a hill station, there is a lot more strain on the voice than it is here. So at the end of the session, we used to actually feel tired even when we were much younger. And I mean, the others started saying, why don't you let us also sing, yeah? I mean, and they said, see, you have to ask Swami, and okay, we'll ask. And they asked Swami, and Swami also said, okay, you practice and sing. So one session, there was one boy who sang.
This was an internal session, right? With
no, it was outside.
Oh.
It was outside in the public was following. So and he sang. After the bhajan session, Swami asked, Rama bhajan ever padaru? There used to be a review after every bhajan session, how the bhajan session was. Sometimes Swami say, chala high padaru, baga padaru. Rama bhajan ever padaru? He asked. Then this boy had sang, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram. It was like more military style. Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Sai Ram, Sai Ram. So something, he managed something. Swami, he said, okay, Inka, it was not that good, he said. Then, okay, Swami, I will practice, he said. Then next day, he understandably he didn't sing. And after next day's bhajan session also, Swami asked, evaru padaru today? Then he looked at this boy particularly and then asked, Kai ko tum nahi gaya? He asked, why didn't you sing? He was like, I mean, just because Swami told me yesterday, I mean, I didn't sing well, but that doesn't mean I just give up. I have to practice and then, ensure that I did a good job today. I can't just, he was like disappointment writ large on his face. He said, Swami, nahi gaya. Then Swami said, Acha ho gaya. Good, you didn't sing. So, I mean, Swami is very clear that if you sing, it should not be a distraction to others. So, I mean, there is some of us, the strength is that we can sing. I mean, doesn't mean that it has to be like Lata Mangeshkar ji or somebody. Not like that. It should not distract. I mean, it should not be. Sometimes we feel that, my God, I sang so well today. Nobody could follow the bhajan. I mean, that's really not a qualification. I mean, it's a disqualification actually. I mean, everybody should be able to follow. And you should sing well, not so much to attract attention to yourself, either way singing too well or too badly. So it should be that everybody should be able to participate. So, I mean, who can lead a bhajan? I think this summarizes what, Swami wanted.
How many of you are lead singers on the mic here? Anywhere. How many of you aspire to be lead singers on the mic? That's all, no other aspirations. That also works. But specifically for those who are aspiring to lead on the mic, I just want to share my journey because it started out as something which was innocent, but it ended up being so much more than what I originally intended to be. So when I joined the bhajan group in Parthi, I had already been like so-called classically trained for a lot of years before that. But when I first gave my audition to the in charge over there, he was like, "Oh, okay, you might be able to join in about 7, 8 years." So he actually said that, and I was like, "I'm not planning to be here for more than 2 years, so forget it." So I just gave up. And then a lot of other incidents happened, and I ended up joining 2 years from then. But when I joined, the intention was that very similar, right? That I'm seeing a lot of attention that Bhagwan is giving to these bhajan singers, physical attention. When I say attention, it's limited to physical attention. And I wanted that. I wanted to go close to Swami, and I found this as a means. And it was a very, very pure and noble intention with which I started out. And it so happened that I joined in my 12th class, which was in January 2009. And then by June 2009, I was already in the Brindavan campus, which was physically away from Bhagwan's presence, right? So what used to happen is very unconsciously this attention seeking from Bhagwan very unconsciously turned into attention seeking from others. That I felt that I could sing well or I could do service only if somebody came and appreciated me for my singing. And that's a very subtle shift that happens. It happened to me. I don't know if it happens regularly. But if it does happen, I just want to ask each one of you to be conscious about it. That we never turn this into an attention-seeking session. This is not a concert. This is definitely not a concert. And we have platforms where our art forms can be displayed. And this is not that platform, very clearly. That's, again, linking back to the intention of the session. It's not just that I connect to Bhagwan. I know enough, or I should know enough about myself that I don't come in the way of anybody else's connection to Bhagwan. So if you think you can take on that responsibility, then definitely please go ahead and approach your coordinator for your chance on the mic. But it's most ideal if somebody approaches you and tells, "Hey, you've been singing so well, why don't you sing on the mic?" That's the most ideal way to... and I truly feel at this stage now, after having sung in the mic for so many years, I feel that it's a big distraction for me because I'm like, first of all, I have to concentrate on my own bhava, and then I have to concentrate on the others. Okay, I should ensure that they are not disturbed. Okay. So it shifted from wanting to get everybody's attention back to the old innocence of just wanting Bhagwan's attention. And I've truly understood that in this process, the mic is just incidental. And this was invented in what, 1900, 1800, whatever. But there were devotees before that, right? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not require a mic. Tyagaraja did not require a mic. They did not require a platform also. And they were able to connect to Bhagwan, be acknowledged by Bhagwan without the presence of a mic. Right? So the mic is just incidental in our journey to Bhagwan. And please take it up only if you feel you are ready to not do a disservice to others. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, I remember one incident where apparently he used to take a light harmonium on his shoulders and play around, go in the street singing the name of Rama and Govinda. And people were very annoyed by that, they broke the harmonium. Then he took some cymbals and started singing and going. They broke that also. Then finally he said, this body itself is an instrument. That is enough. I will clap and go and sing the name of the Lord. So nothing could stop him from singing the name of the Lord and forget what is this. This is an electronic invention of the recent times, right?
And it is not that those who sing in the mic, for them a higher seat is reserved in the heaven.
Absolutely.
So that is one major one. And it is not that only when you sing in the mic, Swami can hear you. Not even a footstep of an ant escapes his listening, his hearing. That is what a devotee speaks about. And Bhagavan also has acknowledged that. Therefore, we now go into Kirtanam to Sankirtanam. Kirtanam is when you have an individual singing, like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and all. Now, Bhagavan has got Samyak Kirtanam, together, everybody singing together. If all of us come together with the same intention, then it becomes Sankirtanam. If our intentions are all over the place, it becomes Samkirtanam. So how do we make sure that we come together and sing?
Just to take a leaf from what Abhi had said, he said you be aware of your own limitations when you are singing. Those days we were fortunate that we had Bhagwan's direct guidance, but it could come right there when you are singing in front of everybody, and many times it wasn't very pleasant, but it was very good feedback for us. I remember I was singing Jaya Jaya Rama once when maybe I was not yet ready for the bhajan, or I was particularly, I remember, Danava Bhanjana Dino Dharana. So after this second line, Danava Bhanjana Dino Dharana. So I tried to give this, but not quite as I can give it now. I barely completed that line. He looked very sternly at me. I mean, I somehow managed to complete the rest of the bhajan, but that was all it took. But I required that feedback. I mean, what I'm saying is that because he felt that was distracting. I mean, I could have sung that bhajan without that. Because if I am not ready for that bhajan in its entirety, I can sing it to the extent that I can sing it well. You don't necessarily have to give every little, twist and turn that you listen to on, say, YouTube, or somebody who's a professional singer. Not necessary. You sing it as well as you can, in a way that does not distract others. So that brings us to the concept of group practice. So when you practice in a group, you get feedback from your fellow singers on if something sounds good also, they say, yeah, it is good. That helps you. And if they say that, no, this line, maybe you could sing it differently, or, why don't you sing it this way? Or you can sing it half note higher or lower. That all of those things help. Sometimes we do not understand that on our own. So, and this practice is very, very important. Another thing which Abhi mentioned was, this is not a concert. I remember one particular, I think for a period of 2 weeks or something, none of us was allowed to sing at Parthi when we were studying. It was only one Mohan Rao uncle and one Srinivasulu sir. These two, they used to sing the bhajans all sessions. Not that they also wanted to. Because it put so much pressure. Only two of them. There was no harmonium player also. They were the only two people. And the others, we were all thinking this cannot last long. I mean, how long can only these two people carry on and others be okay with it? And even Swami will grow tired of it in about 2 days or something. That didn't happen. So, we started making cards, Swami, forgive us. And so he used to see. So one day, in fact, he used to see, but he did not take. Next day again, we took the same card. He said, the same card you brought again. So he noticed all that. Fact is, he has not taken on the previous day. We can't tell him that. But the moment you make the card, it actually, it reaches him with all its feelings, everything. So he's saying, that's not enough. I need more from you. So at that time, there's a lot of introspection. He said that, it's just that we just go waltz there and then sing, thinking that I'm already somebody, and then there's no need for any further practice or any such thing. At that time, one sentence which Shailesh sir was the in charge of the bhajan group. He said when Swami used to specifically tell the singers to go to the old boys hostel, practice. This must have been back in the late 80s. Practice and then come and sing bhajans. And he particularly told that group, you are a bhajan group, you are not a music group. See the distinction that Swami made. You are not a music group, you are a bhajan group. The focus is on devotion and not so much on music. So, when we get together and sing also, the focus is on Swami and on offering bhajan to Swami in the best way that it can be offered, so that everybody his attention is on Swami and not on ourselves or on the singing.
It is an important point that group practice comes before individual practice. Now, it may sound a little strange for us, like, no, I already sing the bhajan, I come and present it in the group. Now, if you have reached that particular place, it's a different issue. But if you are a beginner, then you practice in the group first. Get the inputs from the group, get the inputs from somebody who knows the bhajan, guides you, then you practice. Because if you practice the bhajan wrongly, and then to correct you will be difficult. Like, I have come from a Samiti background, and when I am learning from Abhishek sir, the relearning is taking more time because I am giving those old turns and touches which are not part of the Mandir singing style, and those are like flat, sharp, like that he says, like they are not on scale. So relearning is a lot more cumbersome process. Learn it right the first time. If you have and here is an opportunity. Imagine, brother is teaching group bhajan here. In the hostel, we would just, all of us, like I have asked him many times, is it possible for us to catch up some time to sit down and then sing? Like, he was not able to spare some time at all. For many of our juniors, that was a big complaint because they were so busy with so many activities, so much of bhajan singing, they had to practice for themselves. They did not have that much time to train the juniors. And here now brother is available and he has had this wisdom from so many decades of wisdom that is available and so accessible. And he will teach you in the most finest fashion. And we cannot miss out on that opportunity. So firstly, do a group practice, learn in the group, get the corrections done. Then today we have the medium of mobile, record those lines. Like I asked Abhishek sir, can you sing that particular line little more slowly? So he will sing it slowly. Then I can come to somewhere 50%, 60% of what he's singing. So you learn that, record it, go practice with that. And then the individual practice. After presenting it in the group, then you go to the individual practice. It's a very important step if you are a beginner. And if you feel you are not already qualified enough, like you start a scale, like in our samitis and all what we do, we have to start the bhajan on scale. After that, what happens to the scale, we don't care. Like we started on the scale. After that, I mean, in Mandir they say every word has to be on the scale. Arey, why? That is how we have been. We have to start on scale. We started. After that, harmonium goes somewhere, we go somewhere.
After that, harmonium has to catch up on scale.
So that should not be the case. If you are not able to differentiate the firstary, secondary and all that, please practice with somebody who can train you. Because the intention is, out of we doing any mistake in the bhajan, we cannot disturb everybody around us. We are the channel to connect devotees to the Lord. Same way, if you are a block, the punyam also is multiplied, the papa is also multiplied. So be very cautious about that particular aspect.
One practical example. So one person was trying to sing Ananda Sagara Muralidhara. It's a fairly simple bhajan. So the way it was sung was Ananda Sagara Muralidhara. I mean, it is Muralidhara. So she was singing Muralidhara. How much ever, so many times we tried to, say it's not, you have to sing it, that line has to come a little lower. She was not getting. Then all that that was required was, we had to increase the pitch by say half or one, because that is the lowest line in the bhajan. That was as low as she could go. Muralidhara. Then when you increase the pitch, Ananda Sagara Muralidhara. That she could do. I mean, it's a learning for us also. It is not that we can dismiss that person that, hey, this person doesn't have musical knowledge. It is not so. But we will have to, it's a learning for those who are trying to train or teach also, that we'll have to try different things. It is that she could not go lower than that note. That's as simple as, and if suppose it was somebody who could not find this out, it is like that person has lost the opportunity to participate in bhajan singing. It's just an issue of range of voice.
And in the group practice, we have to come with an attitude of a student, humility. We can't come and say, you found one mistake in mine, I'll find 3 in yours.
And it's definitely not an age-related game.
Yeah, we cannot come to that particular place. The group practice is like each of us bring an individual flower and together we make a garland and offer it to Bhagavan. So that is the spirit with which we should practice in a group. Like brother said in the beginning, we are all taking baby steps. So we should be able to listen to the constructive criticism. Like if Bodhi is giving, it will be very like such as beautifully he will tell you. And when he is telling you have to listen, no, this bhajan doesn't suit you. No, it doesn't suit me. That's it. I should drop that. Doesn't matter. No, I have been singing in my samiti. Listen. It's no longer that story. You cannot say, no, I have been singing for 20 years like this. No, there is a bhajan group in charge. If that person is playing a particular role, when they say, we need to listen. It is the line of communication that has been set up by Bhagavan. Bhagavan said that every samiti should have a bhajan coordinator who coordinates the bhajan session. So they will look at from a so many different perspective, whether the speed of the bhajan is fine, whether the talam is fine, is there a different raga, same 2 ragas, sarvadharma. So they have so many parameters to look at. So when they say, this doesn't suit us, suit you, then we should immediately shift. Or this scale doesn't suit you, you should take that particular feedback with humility.
Yes,
when I
joined the group, I couldn't tell the in charge that, hey, I was already classical trained for so many years. So what do you mean I can't join now? It doesn't work that way, right? So I was trained for probably giving a concert somewhere else, but I was not trained in knowing what not to sing in order to help others and not distract others from their own devotion. I never learned that. I had to learn that the long and hard way, right? And I had to take the attitude of a student.
All right. Bringing us back to the attitude of students, all of you raise your hands. We are going to ask questions now. So now it's your turn to ask us questions. In whatever we have covered thus far, if anything did not make sense to you, if some of the points are not clear, or it raised a question in your mind, please feel free to ask us. So we want this to be interactive. Kindly. Otherwise, I'll ask, okay, your question, like that, I'm going to pull you up.
What type of bhajan should select by a singer according to his voice?
Yes, that is the next.
That is the next session on individual practice. That point is covered. Fantastic. Yeah, please. If we are going to cover, we will also tell you that. So good. Any other question? Fantastic. Now, how do we make sure we have only devotion in our singing, not emotion? So effectively, like it is possible, sometimes when we come to a bhajan session, we are in a very highly emotional state. It is possible, you would have also noticed that 2 people sitting next to each other, one person is crying and the other person also is crying. One person is crying, God, I am not married. The other person may be crying, why did you get me married? So it's an emotion, right? So now how do we make sure that the emotion doesn't come and we have devotion? Definitely we will answer that as we go into the session after The third session we will answer that.
Just a short answer to that is if you've practiced enough to keep your voice stable, even through your emotion, then you've done the right amount of practice. So like even to this day, I would be practicing at least 15-20 minutes every day to stabilize my voice. And I can feel the difference if I don't practice one day. I don't feel like singing that day, right? So we'll cover the points of individual practice and individual sadhana, apart from the group sadhana, in the coming session, but that's a short version of the answer.
But is practice session, when you're doing your practice presence, instruments are very important to play lead role in that?
Yes. See now, Bhagavan gave a discourse on raga, tala and bhava in Vrindavan, and then he told that bhava is very important. And after he came behind Shanti Vedika, he met this bhajan boys and asked them, what did you get from today's discourse? Swami, we understood that bhava is very important. Then he said, for a lead singer, raga, tala, bhava, all three are important. So if we are not an accomplished singer who cannot follow effectively or lead continuously, or we do not sing on beat, we don't know how to start on beat, then it is very essential that we practice just the way you will sing. In fact, you will lead, somebody will follow. That is a group practice. So you lead, people follow. So that time, harmonium is important. The naal or the tabla is also important. In Vrindavan Bhajan group, every week we would sit down and practice. We will all assemble in different samitis and sit and practice. The tabla player will come, harmonium player will come, all of us have to come because the tabla player needs to know what is the bhajan that person is singing and what pace is he going to sing. Because each of us have different levels of singing capability. Therefore, it is necessary that the tabla person and the naal person should attend a bhajan session during a group practice and help the person to sing on scale and on beat. Fantastic. Yes. Absolutely. I'll answer this. Followers should not give extra curves than the lead singer. That is a critical point. Doesn't matter however accomplished we are. If the lead singer has sung it simple, the followers have to sing back simple. If the lead singer has already sung in a complex way and followers can only sing simple, no problem. But we cannot overpower the lead singer. Like that has happened many times, that keeps happening sometimes in bhajan sessions, because the follower, like he is following for all the people and then they will sing their curves. No, we cannot. Swami has been very particular. The person who is leading, we should let that person lead, and the followers should always sing a notch lower than the lead singer. Not the scale, but we should not give extra embellishments than what the lead singer has done. Yes, any other question? Sir said it is going to be interactive session. People said that they are going to come with questions. Like, please. Yes, the follow singers should also, if they are singing follow in the mic, then they should do all the things that Abhishek sir is going to cover in the individual practice. Because we have to, if we are singing in the mic, we have to sing responsibly. Therefore, that particular point, so we have to do the practice like the way a lead singer does. So right now we are in the second in line. So when our aspiration is to be able to lead, then we should actually follow in the Mandir Bhajan group, the people are first inducted to follow, then
Yes.
to lead. So they follow for 2-3 months, and when they are following, it is actually monitored. How are they following? Are they following right at the same scale, everything, and the pitch, everything is being monitored. So firstly, we start as following singers, then we transition to lead singers.
Yes, in short, everything that the follow singer does is also aligned to the intention of the session, that we don't end up disturbing everybody else's devotion.
Yes. Few questions. All right. Good to hear.
We try to collect few questions,
Very nice. Very nice.
though there are very few. One question probably pertains to the session. For those who do not have formal music training, what is the recommended plan or structure for regular bhajan practice?
Next session.
Yes.
Next session.
One more maybe. I sing bhajans in Samiti. How should I practice so as to improve my singing to reach the level of offering bhajan at the bhajan?
Yes.
It's getting covered in the next session, and when we follow those practices that they will say, we can get there. Yes, very nice. Any other question? No questions? Shall we move on to the next? Yes.
Right. Yeah, sure. So apart from the group practice which is happening, for a lead singer or a follow singer, it is very, very important to get into individual sadhana, because without that, the group practice will only, the group practice can only enhance whatever individual practice you've done for yourself. And there are many practices given by our seniors and musical teachers, if you may. Like, lots of it is there, but none of it would make sense if it is not consistent. And I'm sure everyone will agree with me here when I say that anything that you find worth doing, like, what do you find worth doing? Anything in life, Brother Sham? Writing. And how many years have you given yourself to invest in gaining the skill to be at the level that you are today?
5-6 years at least.
Right? And that's a consistent effort. And anything that you find worth doing in your own life, you would have given your time, you would have given your sweat and blood and those many years to be able to get to the level where you are in your field. Right? And bhajan singing requires the same amount of effort, because it's worth doing. That's why we are all here. Right? So if you think a lead singer is your aspiration or a follow singer is your aspiration, those many years of effort is warranted and it is required. It's not a bad thing. Right? If your coordinator tells you that you need a little more practice, it's not necessarily a bad thing. Like, in every field you have a coach. Right? Even Roger Federer has a coach. Yeah, this is his favorite example, I guess. Even Roger Federer has a coach not to tell him how to play tennis, but to give him aspects of the game which he as a player may not be able to see. Right? So those are the things. Even today I am learning. Right? So it's a never-ending journey, but there are definitely people who are better than us in every aspect. And only with the attitude of a student can we allow ourselves to go through this rigorous journey of 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, whatever it is. Right? So if you are not able to sing a particular complex bhajan at this point in time, it's okay. Okay? Your individual practice should be able to lead you towards that. So with that as the intention of the individual practice, that you learn enough to not come in the way of anybody else's devotion, we have a few pointers. The very first and the basis of all practices is your Omkaram in the morning. So you get up and you do your morning ablutions, and the moment you're done with that, you sit, you find yourself a quiet place in your own home, and you do Omkaram for about 10-15 minutes, half an hour if possible, and do it in the different notes. So our seniors used to call this bass practice. So you take a particular scale and then keep going lower and lower. So your voice stabilizes in the lower notes, and that is your base for your singing for the rest of the day. Okay? So we'll just give you a small demonstration. So we do this for about 5 minutes and then go to the lower note. To help you do this practice, if you have somebody sitting next to you who can correct your Shruti, saying it's flat, sharp, it's very helpful. If not, today we even have apps which can tell you whether you're going a little bit either sharp or flat. And that is very, very helpful. Right? So you can adjust your voice to be sharp or flat to correct your Shruti. And Shruti is the most fundamental thing of any musical venture, even be it bhajans or be it the fact that you're going to give a concert. Shruti is the most fundamental thing. Right? And this Omkaram will help you stabilize your voice. If you're going to sing even a simple bhajan, you need to stand on the note. And that it's very important that you stabilize your voice in the morning every day, irrespective of whether you're having a fever, you're having a cold, you're not feeling great. The moment you get up, I'm not even saying do it early morning, whenever you get up, if you have a late night work or a late shift, when you get up at 8:30, 9, whatever, whenever you get up, do this much. And then your voice would definitely stabilize. That's one individual practice which is definitely required.
Yes. That app that he says, we will share that app with brother, and then whoever wants to download, you can download and keep it in front of you when you sing. Whenever you sing or not, it glows green. Otherwise, it's like, as long if you don't come closer to it, it keeps oscillating. And it is a very, very good pointer. Once you practice with that, and it's like certified. Whenever there is more green, when I sing and practice with Abhishek sir, he says, yeah, you are much stable today. So it will be very evident to others also when you are actually stabilized, it will show up in your voice.
So, but this practicing with the app and all that, it is like, it shows you if you are little off also, it's off. So it can be discouraging. I mean, like, just to put things in perspective, great Hindustani singers, there is one Kishori Amonkarji. So usually they start they warm up for the concert, no? And they just sing sa. Once she just sang sa and she got up because she felt that she has sung the perfect sa. So if they feel that other sas are imperfect that they have sung earlier, imagine, the kind of perfection that is involved in this. So yes, that app will tell you that if you are slightly off, but we should not get discouraged and just drop the whole thing. And nor should we say, anyway, this is going to show, red only, it doesn't matter what it shows. So we have to, we are in it for the long term. Keep practicing till you are as perfect as can be. So another is we sing Om. One thing that has helped me is, when one relates to one question which Subbarao sir had asked about you don't have a musical background. I don't come from a music background, but the very fact that you practice, and you want to offer it to Swami is also working on you when you are singing. And I am sure that happens. I mean, otherwise, many people, who've seen me earlier and know, I mean, it's not possible, yeah. Like, how did this happen? It's, I mean, it's
I
only
have heard
His
this
grace.
story in the hostel. When brother gave his audition, people said, "Oh, why are you giving audition?"
I actually wanted to be a tabla player. I mean, in my first UG, and I had a tabla set, but somehow it just happened this way. So, but practice and some, bit of sincerity. And when Omkaram practice, the focus is more on the note. I mean, not, that is, are you one with the note? That is what we, there is no, there's no effort as well is somewhere lost in the, when you're singing, there's no you also. There is that note and there is your Omkaram, and finally there is only one thing at the end of it. There's nothing else exists. There's not even two. I mean, if you feel that you are one with the note, that is the best thing that can happen in that Omkaram practice. Om is like, you say it's A, U, no? These are all different notes, and while singing, some of us, initially I used to find it difficult to sing the note A or E. So these, and at a certain pitch, let's say on the higher octaves, so there are like many bhajans. Suppose A is like, Garuda Vahana Narayana, it's a A. Shri Lakshmi Ramana Narayana, Shri Lakshmi Ramana Narayana, it's all A. So there is Dehi Sharanam Simhavahini, Dehi Sharanam Asura Vinashini. So in this, Dehi Sharanam Bhava Bhayaharini, endings are all E. De is there. Dehi Sharanam Bhava Bhayaharini, Dehi Sharanam Harinarayani. E, endings are in E. So it's some people can sing everything with ease. Some you will feel that you are able to sing this with ease, but not this. So in effect, some are also, that Kasturi Tilakam. Kasturi Tilakam Narayanam. Endings are So, Guru Vayur Puranarayanam, Kali Yuga Avatara Narayanam, Govinda Govinda Narayanam. So it's So
is one
are
of
you-
the most hardest symbols to stabilize your voice in. So, I mean, of course, our Omkar practice does help in that, but it's equally important. In E and are, at least for me, it were the most difficult syllables to stabilize my voice on. So I used to practice specifically on those syllables. Govinda bolo, Gopal bolo. So O is another syllable where you need to stabilize your voice on. So there are these bhajans which are available. If you just take any bhajan you like, mostly you will see that it ends in one or two syllables, and you can practice that syllable specifically in the mornings to stabilize your voice.
I will request brother to demonstrate the Hari Om practice. In one bhajan workshop, brother Ravi, Ame and Siddharth, they demonstrate this Hari Om, which we can all follow with brother, and that will help us Hari Om, Ha, Ri, A, U, Ma. A, E, I, O, U. All the 5 vowels are covered when we do this Hari Om. We can do it in different scales. So today we will practice in one scale. We can all follow after brother.
Can you sing? So in this you have a, e, again u, so all of these get covered. The one of the most important things that helps, even we may not be musically trained, but it helps to observe yourself when you're singing. If you are finding that you are not able to reach a note comfortably, for example, Garuda Vahana Narayana is say in 2.5 madhyam. Dehi Sharanam also is in 2.5 madhyam. But the highest note in each, suppose there is a difference in the way you feel when you're singing these two bhajans, then you'll have to inquire into see why is it that. No, then when you see more bhajans which sound similar, oh, wherever there's an E, I find it difficult when I sing high. So it's about being conscious of your own voice, more observant of yourself, how you feel when you sing. So this Hari Om exercise will help us in being comfortable with all syllables.
Yes, and if you do still feel that you are musically challenged, it's okay to go and take a classical training, right? You don't want to keep telling for the next 10 years that I'm musically challenged. So take a professional class, it's okay. You learn music for the sake of it so that you can apply its principles here. That also works. And we have to remember that it's years of effort. It's not 1 day or 2 days effort.
One singer in Mandir Bhajan group had this problem where his voice would crack when he would sing high lines.
So I had that.
And some of them, when they were singing, they would have a certain level of hoarseness, or they would not be able to hold, like Hari Om, when he demonstrated, we thought we can't stay with him. Like he elongated for that long. We had to take a breath in the middle, right? So our breathing has to be worked on. Simple breathing exercises we can definitely do. And Swami even recommended to that student that he should jog. He should go for jogging regularly. So that increases your lung capacity. So by doing these exercises, you increase your lung capacity, then you are able to sustain on a note for a longer period of time. Your voice does not crack. And doing all these practices along with breathing control and the exercises, then you will be able to deliver on that bhajan without much, like you will not break the line in the middle or in the middle of a word, you will not take a break. In order for us to sing that comfortably, even the regular exercises and breathing exercises also help.
Breathing is very, very critical. The longer you can hold your breath, the better it is. So, I mean, like some bhajans, which in my observation, typically the turnings or they are all in the end of the bhajan. Like for example, Manamohana Murali Dhari Jaya Radhe Govinda. So Jaya Yamuna Tira Vihari Jaya Radhe Govinda. There, Govinda. Suppose if you sing it continuously, I mean, if I sing it continuously, I find it difficult. Suppose I take a breath in between, and I have more breath to deal with, when I come to the turning, that helps me. That's my personal experience. Likewise, what I am saying is when you're singing, you try different things and see what will.
Try different
work.
things in practice, not
Yeah,
in
yeah,
the,
yeah,
on the
yeah.
field.
Correct.
There are long lines like this. Danava Bhanjana Rama Sai. So you take a break here. Shamala Komala Ram. If you don't take a break and then sing Shamala Komala Ram, it will come. So you practice during this individual practice and group practice, you know exactly where to break according to your capacity. In the group practice, they will be able to help you with that. So the group practice and individual practice, we have covered all the essentials with respect to that.